conspiracy.
Okay. I'm just giving. Yeah, I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East, and they're going to need me pretty quickly. So I will take a couple of more questions.
Well, that'd be big news. That just broke like 20 minutes ago. How about that? Also appears that Trump was rushing back to the White House here. So again, this is just like in the last 20 minutes, guys. Hopefully there's a peace deal in the Middle East. We will see. I'll tell you what, Polymarket thinks so. Check out this. This it was just like 70% when I first pulled this up like 5 minutes ago, up to 90% chance of a ceasefire by October 10th. So that is a wild chart to look at. So seems that peace deal is going to happen here. That's obviously big news from a humanitarian standpoint. Obviously, I imagine markets will also respond well. So big news there. Guys, some big things happening today. I got the 375 AI shirt on today. We got some big news about a financial raise that 375 AI had. Also about their token sale. We have some details around their TGE, their tokenomics, so we're going to dig through all of that. What else do we got here? We have the Fed minutes came out today. No big surprises there. We'll talk about what that could entail for the rest of the year with rate cuts. And then we're going to talk about some broader crypto stuff. Talking about some stuff on Avalanche yesterday, some big news coming out of the AVAX scene, and let's see, some other robotic stuff. So let's go. I know I'm on a little bit later than normal. Guys, I put in some finishing touches on my rover video, so that should be posted tonight. Exciting stuff. So it's been a freaking busy day. So thanks for those of you that are joining. Make sure to like, share, subscribe on YouTube if you don't already, guys. That's where I'll be posting the rover video, is on my YouTube channel. But it is Wednesday, October 8th. Man, this is episode 77, I believe. We've been at this for a while. And we've got some big news. I mean, it's been a big year for crypto, guys, and it's going to continue. Love it. Some big news out of Elon. But I thought this video was kind of funny. This guy asking about Elon and what he had to say about him.
You don't believe in Brexit?
Elon Musk.
You want it over
Elon Musk
is not an elected official. I want the leader of this country to believe in democracy.
Are you a fan of him?
I'm a fan for anyone that protects free speech. Yes, I am a fan of him. He is a genius. Have you thought what he's brought to...
I think he's an idiot. I think he doesn't understand...
He's an idiot.
I don't think he understands our political
Someone who's
system
created SpaceX and Tesla is an idiot.
I mean... Guys, it's you can't make it up. I mean, I get it. There's plenty of reasons. I understand people that don't like Elon, but the people that call Elon an idiot, that is always so funny to me. I've got a buddy that says that all the time, and I'm like, yeah, the guy that started SpaceX, started Tesla and the EV movement. And what about, everything that's happening with Neuralink right now? So check out the video of this guy using Neuralink. Literally, he's controlling this robotic arm with his mind.
I feel like I should probably hold on to it the whole time.
This guy starts talking with his robotic hand.
Gesture wildly with it. You're like, you guys, you know what I'm talking about, right? Here's the thing. So, I'll be able to talk with my hands again. So, listen, if we're all here tonight, I think.
I mean, imagine what's coming, guys. Big stuff out of Neuralink. Elon, again, continues to push forward innovation. In this case, they said that he was able to put on his own hat for the first time in years, microwave his own food, fed himself. Very cool stuff, man. The innovations that are coming are going to be freaking awesome between AI, robotics. Guys, there's gonna be a lot of good. I know there's a lot of talk about the bad and what's going to happen in the job market and all that. And there is some bad that will come for sure, but we'll adapt. We always have with innovation. Things will get better. And I think there's a lot of good things and a lot of things to be excited about. And AI isn't just impacting our personal lives, it's also impacting our GDP. My boy Brian sent this over just a few minutes ago. So check this out. Without data center, GDP growth was 0.1% in the first half of 2025, according to Harvard economists. So it says growth in the first half of 2025 was almost entirely driven by investment in data centers and information processing technology. Furman calculated that GDP growth would have been just 1.1% on an annualized basis, near standstill. That underlines the increasingly pivotal role of high-tech infrastructure in shaping macroeconomic outcomes. No doubt about it. I thought this part was really insightful, though, and something I hadn't thought about. He says investment in information processing equipment and software was only 4% of U.S. GDP for the first half of 2025, yet it also accounted for fully 92% of GDP growth over that period. Okay. But he added it's probably not the case the U.S. economy would have recorded almost no expansion at all absent this build out. And the reasoning is that absent the AI boom, we would probably have lower interest rates and electricity prices. So we would have additional growth in other sectors. So this AI movement and this build out is because of the GDP growth that we've seen from it and electric rates going up. It's actually prevented the Fed from dropping rates and having to drop rates. So because of that, has stunted growth in other areas because we haven't been able to lower rates. I thought that was really interesting insight. But the big question is, will it continue? The build out of the data centers, will that continue, and how long will it continue? Fed minutes. So the Fed, roughly 2 to 3 weeks after the FOMC meetings that happen 8 times a year, released their minutes. So nothing super surprising here. There was a split as far as how many more rate cuts there should be this year amongst the Fed members. Says the slim majority expects 2 more rate cuts before the end of the year. That's what the market's pricing in at this point. That's what is expected. It says that the meeting summary indicated near unanimity. God, sorry guys. It's been a long day, man. Among participants at the FOMC, that the central bank's key overnight borrowing rates should be cut due to weakness in the labor market. So that's the big deal, guys. We've seen the labor market weakening. That has been what's been driving the decisions to cut rates. Obviously, inflation has not been as bad as people expected. Okay. It did go on to say that there's varying degrees about how aggressive this should be through the rest of 2025, the next several years. There was a slight majority favored the equivalent of quarter point cuts in the 2 remaining meetings this year. And it says that there's likely 1 more cut in both 2026 and 2027. I mean, Jerome Powell's gone in May. So looking forward at all at this point, I think it's just, there's no point. I think whatever they expect is probably going to be a more aggressive cuts looking forward and into the future. But this rings true here. I mean, still October, still a 92% chance of a rate cut. You have December, still looking at a 79% chance of a rate cut. So we'll see how the numbers look as we get closer to December. And of course, that next meeting is October 28th to 29th. So roughly 3 weeks from now, we should see another quarter point cut. At least that's what the markets are expecting. If that doesn't happen, probably wouldn't be great for markets. All right, let's talk about crypto, guys. It's me a little bit of a shorter show today because I need to get that Rover video finished. I want to get it uploaded tonight. But we'll cover the important things of the day, of course. Says the SEC is aiming to formalize innovation exemption by end of year. Okay. So this is the SEC formalizing this innovation exemption for crypto. So the big thing here is that might not happen until 2026, depends on the government shutdown. Okay. Says that it's still looking to formalize an innovation exemption for companies to build on digital assets and other innovative technologies in the U.S. And goes on to say that it's one of the top priorities. The main goal here is that they don't want the innovators to flee the U.S. and go to other countries. Okay, it makes sense. It doesn't actually didn't specify like definitively what the innovation exemption is, but it is a planned regulatory framework by the SEC to provide temporary supervised relief from securities rules for digital asset companies. So the goal is to create a stable environment for people to build in the crypto space, prevent talent from leaving the U.S. That makes sense, right? Makes a lot of sense. Speaking of crypto, this is Lawrence Leopard. So he did write The Big Prince, which I'm almost finished with now. Highly recommend you give that a read, by the way. But here's what he had to say about Jerome Powell and fiat currency and what's going to happen with Bitcoin.
Powell is bluffing. He says we're going to get inflation back to 2%. He says we haven't lost control, even though he has. And the market believes him because the forward swaps are at 275 for 5-year inflation. It's bullshit, but people believe him. When things start to break, he will have to change his tune well before the inflation rate is 2%. And everyone's going to go, that's interesting. He really has lost control. He cannot get inflation down. All those guys who've been talking about inflation is inevitable, they are right. And then you're going to see just an enormous movement of capital from other things into our things. There's $450 trillion of fiat shit in the world. Cash, stocks, and bonds.
Fiat shit in the world, he says. Yeah, guys, I think we are just getting started with Bitcoin. Not to say that we won't see it drop. I mean, I think on our Deep and Happy Hour a couple weeks ago, we were like, there's a couple of people, we were kind of split on this, that said that Bitcoin would never get below 100K again. I'm in the camp that I think we could see it go below 100K again. But all that said, looking out, long term, Bitcoin, I believe, at least, is going much higher, sitting at 123,400 today. We saw a little bit of a pullback yesterday, and people were freaking out. Oh my God, the world's ending, the sky is falling, crypto's over. I mean, come on, man. Come on. What we say, when in doubt, zoom out. Whoop, there you go. That chart looks very pretty, especially if you were in back here. Man. All right. We had some other news yesterday. We have some more details around this. We had the S&P Crypto 50 that is launching, and there's a response from Avalanche to the official post. I was like, I think AVAX might be included in this fund. We now know that with the top 10 at least, so there's 35 crypto-based companies and 15 crypto assets that will be included in this. The top 10 assets, crypto assets, Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, Binance Coin, Solana, Tron, Cardano, Chainlink, I like Chainlink, Avalanche. There it is. Okay, so we were right. AVAX is included in that. But AVAX isn't just included in the fund, guys. The fund is literally running on AVAX. This is from John Wu. He's the president of Ava Labs, the company behind Avalanche. Yeah, check it out. It says it's going to be built on Avalanche. Okay, that's a big freaking deal, obviously. And again, he's the president of Ava Labs here. Guys, huge deal. And we're seeing a little bit of a bounce back today on price of AVAX. A lot of people pretty pessimistic last few days about Avalanche. And I get it. Hasn't moved a lot. What is it on the year? 8.7%. So it's underperformed the other large caps. But I think Avalanche, to me, given that it's $12.2 billion market cap, and compared to other large caps, the catalysts that are lining up, I believe AVAX is up for a run. Okay. But it has not come without a little bit of drama today. So we had the digital asset treasuries get announced. This isn't a huge surprise. Like, we read about this a month ago, that the DATS, the digital asset treasury, is going to be getting AVAX tokens at a discount from the treasury. Okay. Now all these people are like freaking out, like this is like new news. Like, we didn't know this was going to happen. They're like, oh, they're not buying it on spot. There's no buying pressure. Well, yeah, we knew this was going to be the case. Like, I don't know why people are so like surprised by this. Anyway, the big deal here is that their pro forma MNAV calculation 0.68. Okay, so they're obviously getting this at a hefty discount compared to the underlying asset. That's obviously pretty cool. So the question is, okay, will we be able to take advantage of that? Obviously. Okay, so says that their goal is to have it trading in early 2026. And AVAT, that's going to be the name of the treasury company, plans to launch at a 0.77 MNAV. Okay, so offering investors a 23% discount. We'll see how long that lasts. Everyone's going to be piling into this shit. Like, I hope we can get in before the MNAV is trading at a premium. We'll see. Did go on to talk about the other DAT, AgriForce Growing Systems. That has not performed that well, really. Okay, so it's down like 8.27% in the last 5 days. Obviously, since they made that announcement, it's still up. This is back when they made the announcement. That thing jumped, but coming back down to earth now. And that is like when I cover this on the day it happened with these DATs. A lot of times they do make this big run up. You can get lucky, maybe catch that before the big move. But generally speaking, like you do see it kind of bleed off and sell off after the fact. And the problem with that is you don't really know what the MNAVs are right off the bat in many cases. In fact, we look at this treasury tracker here. I mean, this one doesn't even have the MNAV listed for Agri here. So we don't really know exactly. But looking at some of the Solana ones, Ford Industries still trading at, let's see here. Let's just go down the list here. Ford Industries still at a 1.38. Obviously, been talking about how this one's overvalued for a while. I do not have any exposure to that. Is this the outstanding or no? That's not fully diluted. 1.58. That's super yuck. Not touching that. The other ones, you have UpXC, you have DFDV, DeFi Development Group. They are trading at pretty big premiums right now too. So those are not ones that I'm adding to. I bought when the premium was a little bit lower. I'm holding those for now. You've got STSS sitting at 1.24. That's actually not bad. The one that I really am looking at right now, though, is what's this one right here? Solana Strategies, Sol Strategies, 1.09. That's actually pretty attractive, guys, for a fully diluted MNAV rather. So that's pretty good. That actually is one that could potentially look at entering because that's not much of a premium right now. Of course, what's the exit point of UpXC? Shit, man. I mean, I think that Solana is going to run through the end of the year. So the big question is, like, do you rotate out into other digital asset treasuries? Do I sell and buy into the spot ETFs when they get approved? I don't know. But the spot ETFs might get delayed. I mean, as long as this government shutdown is underway, like, we might not get the spot ETFs. So if we see a bunch of upward price action in Solana, I want to capture that. So I'll make those decisions. I mean, I might rotate from the DATs into the spot ETFs because spot ETFs are going to track the underlying asset a lot closer. Yeah, exactly. The DATs, there's just like there's unknowns, right? With the digital asset treasuries, like, you don't know. They could announce tomorrow, oh, hey, we're going to issue a bunch of new shares and dilute the shit out of it to acquire more. And you're just hoping that it continues trading at a premium. The problem with that is, yeah, you can kind of justify the premium, if anything, right now, especially because there is no spot ETF for people to go to. But once those spot ETFs are launched, like, why wouldn't someone just do that? Why would they pay a premium? That's the question. We'll see how that plays out. Obviously, there is the Osprey one. Doesn't track it 100%, but that's not a bad play. I think, Bob, you were in that Osprey one as well. So that's something I'm considering. But looking at Ford Industries, guys, since we talked about this, and we're like, yeah, that premium's way too high. It was like $39. The thing is just bled out, even with Solana moving up. So that's a prime example of why you avoid buying those things at a hyper premium. STSS up 6.19% today. Wow, that's a weird bump and sell off in the after hours. I don't know what's going on there. But that one was a lower premium, moved up today. Still, nice day. Sol Strategies. This is the one that we just looked at that has a very low premium. So if there's anyone that I would be adding to right now, it'd be this one because the premium's so low. I actually believe that Kathy Wood added to a position in this like last week. So that's interesting as well. Down 52% in the last month. Jeez. So yeah, this one's the lowest premium. So the MNAV, that's the most attractive one. The only one that I would, if I was going to be adding, would be adding to. We had UpXE up 1.7% on the day. It's been doing pretty well the last month, up 26.68%. And of course, DFDV is the last one here. Hell of a day for DeFi Development Corp, up 13.8%. So I'm still holding UpXE and DFDV myself. Price of Solana bouncing back. Guys, everyone was like, oh, Solana's dead. It's all Binance now. Give me a break, man. Yeah, we're seeing liquidity go to Binance, but Solana's not going anywhere. Okay. So for all those people that are thinking that it's dead, yeah, it ain't dead. People that are leaving it will come back. And then I saw this from Cointelegraph. It says analysts say Sol could rally to $290 to $345 if the SEC approves the spot ETFs, which the approval odds are near 100%. Like, you guys been like watching my streams? Yeah, I'm kidding, kind of. Anyway, I agree. I agree. I think that we do see all-time highs before the end of the year. I know I've said that many a times. Let's see here. We covered this earlier in the year, this Ondo and MasterCard partnership. And we saw them co-branding at this Swift, I guess it's a Sibos 2025 event. I was like, what is that exactly? It's a conference that explores digital evolution of payments and securities, hosted by Swift. So they're actually next year, I think this year is in Germany. Next year it's going to be in Miami, but pretty cool to see those two co-branding. Ondo, Chainlink. You've got Avalanche, Solana. I think all of those are going to do really well, guys, for the larger cap projects. What about DePIN? So DePIN has been a little rough this week. It's all right, though. We've got plenty of catalysts coming up. I missed this one. This is about a week ago. Tyler sent this to me. I don't think I covered it, at least. Maybe I did. I don't know. Cover a lot of freaking stuff. But NASDAQ listed Predictive Oncology launches a $344 million DePIN treasury focused on Aether. Okay, so Aether obviously is a cloud service provider. Says that this biotechnology company specializing in AI-driven cancer research has announced a $344 million digital asset treasury centered on Aether's ATH token, marking the first time a NASDAQ-listed company will hold and actively manage tokens from a DePIN. That's a big deal. This is a really big deal because there's been talks about, will we see a DePIN DAT? Will we see a DePIN spot ETF? This is a publicly traded company that is holding a DePIN project on its balance sheet. Like, seriously, this is the groundbreaking stuff. It says that it allows them to record tokenized DePIN infrastructure as a balance sheet asset, introducing a hybrid financing model that connects traditional equity markets with decentralized computing networks. Man, how about that? So Aether currently valued at $641 million. That's why I don't hold it, because the market cap's already pretty high. When you compare it to other cloud projects, I feel like there's other ones that have more upside. That said, they do claim to have 435,000 enterprise-grade GPUs on their network, and they do claim that they have. I say they claim. It's kind of. I think it's questionable whether they really have $167 million in annual recurring revenue. I don't know. I don't think it's on chain. So, it's like taking for their word on that. The fact, though, that the NASDAQ traded company is, buying that much of their token is a pretty big vote of confidence, though, I must say. We are due for a demo pump. Yeah. I agree. Man. What are we at right now with demo? 5.5 cents. Come on, man. Come on. The big news of the day is 375 AI represent. Okay, so they announced that they've now raised $10 million in total. So this is comprised of 2 different raises, by the way. So I will get into the details there, but you see 10 million. They've got a lot of investors. This project is going to be absolutely massive, guys. Seriously. They are setting up cameras, for those of you who don't know about 375 AI. They're setting up cameras on billboards where there's high traffic areas, and they have NVIDIA chips at the edge to process all the data. Freaking nuts, man. And their CEO is a G, okay? Harry Dewhurst, that guy. Whew. If you want to have someone leading your project, that's who you want. It says that they raised 10 million. Let's see here. So it was raised across multiple rounds, though. Okay, so 5 million was a couple of years ago. Another 5 million in this round here. There's more details broken down because they're having their token sale tomorrow. It's a big deal. Unfortunately, if you're in the US, can't do it, guys. CoinList requires that you do your verification, your identity verification. I agree. Total saddies, man. What the hell? I would have certainly aped into this because the terms are pretty good, but it's worth digging in because they give you some really good details on their tokenomics here. So if you're outside of the US, you can take advantage of this. You just have to complete the Solana chain signature step. Oh, they have it all here. So it's coinlist.co/375AI. CoinDestruct says, what? I agree, man. So check it out. Here's the sales structure. So it's going to run for, looks like 5 days. Token price at 7.5 cents per token. Based on an FDV fully diluted value on the whole project at $75 million. Guys, that ain't shit. This project's going higher, okay? I would be shocked if it didn't go much higher. So that is actually a really good valuation to buy in at, I have to say. Allocated supply, 2.67%. If you are one that buys into this, 50% unlocks at token launch, TGE, token generation event, followed by a 12-month linear unlock period. Expected TGE is in Q4. We don't have an exact date yet. Total token supply is 1 billion ETH token. So that's the name of their token. Purchase limits, minimum 100, maximum 500,000. Let's see here. Excluded participants include residents of the U.S. and Canada. Here, right here. Harry, if you're watching, saddies. It's not Harry's fault. It's not Harry's fault. Okay. So it says that an additional $1 million worth of ETH, up to 1.33% of the token supply, total supply, may be made available for purchase. So they might add more, depending on the appetite, I imagine. So check out the tokenomics here. So this is worth taking a look at. I think these are very fair, by the way. Okay. Public sale. So that's 3% of the token supply. Again, 50% of that is going to vest at token launch. The rest over the next 12 months. Community incentives, airdrops for people that have been participating. Plus, so and ongoing incentives for node operators. 40% of the supply, 400 million. 15% looks like 15% will be airdropped to people that have been participating up to this point. That's pretty cool. The rest will 96-month vesting period, huh? How about that? But yeah, so that's going to be what goes to the communities. You have liquidity provisioning. So I imagine that's to add liquidity to any centralized or decentralized exchange listings. You have your treasury, partnerships and marketing, important things, 4%. That's pretty minuscule. A lot of projects have much bigger treasuries and marketing budgets here. Listings, 3%. I imagine that would be paying a centralized exchange to get your token listed, because centralized exchanges are bullshit and charge lots of money just to list your freaking token. Team and core contributors 25%. So, guys, that's reasonable. That is reasonable, in my opinion. And then you have looks like lockup for 12 months or a full year of lockup, and then a 3-year vesting period. Guys, so that means that the team tokens won't be fully unlocked for 4 years after TGE. Same with private investors. It's going to take them 4 years from TGE. There will be no unlocks for the first year, and then the rest over a 3-year period. Compared to a lot of the tokenomics that I'm looking at these days, that these are pretty favorable. When you say when are the unlocks, what do you mean by that, Bob? I don't know what that means. Is that for maybe the airdrop, that 15%? I think that might vest over what is that? 30. Gosh, my brain is fried right now. It's been such a long day. So that's a 8-year vesting period. I don't know what that I don't know about that. I would imagine though that might mean the airdrop is vesting over that period of time. I'm not sure. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so I think this is very fair. More fair than the other tokenomics I've seen out there. They also give you a little bit of information on the raises down here. So you can see 5 million and 5 million. And based on an FDV, fully diluted valuation of 55 million. Okay. And these are early investors. So the first one was over 2 years ago. $5 million raised there. This more recent one of 5 million was in July of 2025. They just announced it today though. So a total of 10 million there. But the FDV of 55 million, guys, I mean, this is very fair then, in my opinion. Some of these people had their money tied up for the last 2 years. The fact they're doing a token sale at a 75 million FDV, yeah. I mean, if I weren't in the US, I would be absolutely, not financial advice, but I would be all over this. I mean, this is crazy. Man, I hope in the future the US opens this up. I really do. So big news, guys. Big news out of 375 AI. Love the project, representing the shirt. Love the team, the product market fit, what they're doing. To me, it's going to be one of the most successful projects in DePIN. And if you don't know who Harry Dewhurst is, well, watch my interview with him. It's on my channel. That guy was on the Forbes 30 under 30. He was the CEO of Linksys for a couple of years. He had like a successful exit. One of the companies he started, I think they sold for like over $300 million. Dude's a G. Okay. And that's all I got to say about that. So big news out of 375 AI. Aoki announced this today. Big news with Coinbase announcing that they are launching decentralized trading. I think it's going to open up people a lot of different tokens now that you'll be able to trade very easily through Coinbase. Says that almost all US users will now be able to trade Aoki. Guys, I know I talked about this, but today added a pretty substantial position in Aoki when it dropped down. There's a little bit of a drop today. I didn't get the exact bottom. Okay, I wish I had. But if you look at the token price right now, it did drop earlier today. Got down to like 1.9 cents, right around there. I think I got in around 2 cents on the way up here. Yeah, somewhere around there. Jed, I believe the Dex wallet. I don't think it's on the Coinbase exchange yet. I think if it's on Coinbase exchange, we would have seen this thing pump a lot more. But guys, $58 million market cap. Like the way robotics is heating up. I played the videos from their announcements last Friday with the customer announcements. Guys, like to me, Aoki's going to be one of the leaders, if not the leader, in robotics and DePIN. And I think it's the most obvious. You know, we talked about how Solana was so obvious back in August. Robotics to me is the most obvious narrative that's going to play out. and Aoki is actually doing real stuff. You're going to see every project try to say they're a robotics project pretty soon here. There's no doubt that's going to happen, but they have real demand and 7-figure contracts coming in. And Nils, talk about another project founder. That guy is legit. Okay. The teams are important, man. You look like GeoNet. Mike Horton. Solid. Solid. Speaking of GeoNet, and again, full transparency, I did trim some other positions that weren't performing as well. And did take a pretty 5-figure position earlier today in Aoki. I plan on continuing adding. Xbit token. I need to reach out to Mark over there, but they did say Q4. They should have some news on that dropping any day now. I'll reach out to Mark and see if we have any details I can share on that tomorrow. Speaking of GeoNet, robotics hype is heating up worldwide, only gaining more momentum. Ex Machina. I got it right this time, guys. I was like, yesterday. I don't know how you pronounce that. Ex Machina. Okay. They made a post earlier, and it's cool. Like, you look at the companies that are emerging, the projects emerging out of robotics. The ones I'm super bullish on, I see GeoNet, Rover. You've got Aoki in there. I think, to me, those are the big three. Ex Machina is in there. You have Peak. I know Nadix. So I think all of those will probably run. Okay. But GeoNet, Rover, Aoki are the ones I'm most excited about. I'm researching Ex Machina right now. They actually had an AMA earlier I jumped into. And I did talk to Nils with Aoki, and he said he likes what they're doing. So I do respect his opinion. But they did post this earlier. South Korea just launched a $770 million national plan to become a humanoid superpower by 2030. So I read into this a little bit. What's going on here? Says that the K Humanoid Alliance, a government-backed consortium tasked with an audacious mission to transform South Korea into a global humanoid robotic superpower by 2030. Went on to talk about this. Tesla plans to produce 5,000 Optimus robots in 2025. China's on track to manufacture at least 10,000 humanoids by year's end, fueled by a robust domestic supply chain and aggressive government investment. We're seeing that a lot, government investment. Seeing it in South Korea. We're seeing it in China. The U.S. is starting to invest in companies as well, guys. I know in the U.S. everyone's like, oh, what? Why is the government investing in companies? Guys, this happens everywhere else. So it's, it is what it is. I don't like when people are trading on insider information when that stuff happens. That kind of sucks. I'll say that much. But this is the interesting part, though. Okay. South Korea's push into humanoid robotics isn't merely opportunistic. It's existential. Existential. Gosh, yeah. I'm having trouble with my pronunciations today. The country faces a demographic crisis. So there's something that came up in my space with Nils a couple weeks ago. He was talking about how China has been investing in robots because they don't have enough. They have such a declining birth rate. Says that this makes robots less a luxury and more a necessity. With one of the world's fastest aging populations and plummeting birth rates, labor shortages threaten the manufacturing industries that underpin the economy. This is absolutely true. Mark Cuban even posted about this the other day too. Robotics. We have to invest in robotics. I can't say it enough. Because robotics. That's where I have been repositioning. Okay. And I'm even looking at Web 2 investments in the stock market for this, because that is where the next rotation of capital is going. AI has obviously been leading the show. Guys, this is where it's headed. But I thought this was interesting. It's not just South Korea. It's not just China. Birth rates per woman right now. Look at these charts. Look at Russia. Look at India. Look at Sweden. Denmark, Kenya, South Korea, Spain, China, US, guys, everywhere. Declining birth rates, aging populations. Robots are not only going to be in existence just to make our lives easier, it has to happen. It has to happen. Okay. So follow the money. Right now, we're in the front end of it. To me, this is like getting into AI like 4 years ago. Right after ChatGPT came out, and everyone's like, whoa, look at the adoption of this app. What followed? Some of the best investment opportunities over the last 4 years as things exploded in the AI space. We are right there, in my opinion, on robotics. We're starting to see it. So I wouldn't bring a child into this crazy world. Hey, man, a lot of people with you on that. There's no doubt about that. So that is the deal, y'all. Big news out of 375 AI. Regulatory clearance coming up. We've got, they're pushing forward innovation in the U.S. Institutional money flows are coming. The robotics sector is where everyone, in my opinion, should be looking. I am repositioning I'm going to continue trimming some other positions and moving more heavily into robotics plays. Be on the lookout for my Rover video. I'm hoping to have it posted tonight, putting some finishing touches on there. I think you guys will like it. And then tomorrow or the next day, I will have the deep dive on the tokenomics side of things. I did a higher level overview in the video I'm going to post tonight. I'm going to do super nerdy breakdown and all the on-chain stuff and everything that I did for the research on that. So it won't be for everybody, but for those of you that like to nerd out on tokenomics and on-chain activity, you'll probably like it. All right, y'all. I appreciate you all. Hey, make sure again, like, retweet, like if you're watching on YouTube, and subscribe to my channel, guys, if you haven't already. Looking to get the sub count up. If you like it, it helps the algorithm as well. And I've got some other videos planned, so super exciting stuff there. Y'all have a fantastic evening or maybe morning. I don't know, depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you all later.